Hi guys, so the repair is accepted. I tell them that I need to replace that white tube filters, and I'm going to remove all the intake because uh, I suspect, heavy carbon deposits, and I want to see how that turbo to catalytic converter and EGR passages are, and the only way is removing it. So yes, this is going to be a long video. Um, as far as the diagnosis, it's a little hard to say 100% because it's a hiccup, like a misfire on those two cylinders. But do we have all that carbon buildup sucking the fuel and creating that, or we have leak injectors? So he said they replaced two injectors and move it around and then did a zero or quantity calibration. I don't see any problems with that. I see problems on unmetered air and some other issues. So I need to correct this first. I'm sorry, but I cannot work on anything else with all these problems in here. So again, I'm going to start removing. I already, as you can see, removed the water hoses and I'm draining the coolant, which is part of what I need to do. But I will be showing just, you know, part of the disassemble because this is a very long repair. If we're talking about, 12, 15 hours just to do everything. So it's impossible for me to do such a long video, but I will be presenting you part of what I'm doing and guide you through the process. I would not recommend anyone to do this if you don't have the knowledge because you need to have the knowledge and the tools to do the calibrations and adaptations after you do a repair like this. All right, guys, I remove a little more. Like, there's actually this piece here. I want to show you this one. It wasn't even sealed correctly. The O-ring is cracked here. So another intake leak. And I'm glad I'm finding all this stuff because it's going to make, at the end, the car run a lot better, right? Even though this is a diesel car, it has a throttle plate here. Remember, this acceleration is based on injection, not in air, but it has a throttle plate to control acceleration as well. Everything is just so filthy. This is the glow plug module right here. So again, push and pull. It works most of the times. I'm gonna have to remove the bolts on the top as well, just to get it off of there. Most of the bolts in here, screws and bolts, are going to be E10s, and I can see that this is cracked. Gonna see how much damage we have in this intake part. Yeah, it's not even coming off. Well, and not on the bottom. It's separated from the plastic since it's cracked. Put this on here. I got a tray on the right side. Now the module itself is, yeah, it has a double plug. That's why I couldn't remove it. Very hard to do. Very brittle too. It's old. I gotta pick. Usually, when I can do that by hand, like this one, it seems to be, yeah, release. I help myself with a pick. I land on the floor. It's right here. So this is your glow plug module for those that haven't seen it before. And yeah, this base is cracked. It's almost broken all the way through. I will examine this when I remove everything. I've got an exhaust temperature sensor in here too. Around the tube, this is the heater exchanger right at the bottom. It's part of the EGR system. Just disconnecting it so I can pull that harnesses away. We have a coolant hose in there. Again, I'm not going to be recording 100% because it's just such a big repair that it's going to be impossible to put them in a video that makes sense, right? Plus, I have already repairs on this same engine, but for him, I want to show as much as possible. Just a regular plier. These clamps, I don't know where they do it like this. Pain in the neck. See if it spins. Nope. So we can use the same pick that I was using. This one has a 90-degree angle, so it works as a hose pick too as well. This will just break the hose loose, and now it's easy to remove. And that wouldn't break it. And put them just on the side. Yeah, I can see it's also cracking here, right where this bolt is holding it in place here, which is also holding uh, this feed line for the fuel. I have to take my time. It's again the first time I work on this vehicle, and I don't want to be blamed for anything that I haven't done. I mean, even though we know that a lot of stuff is going to be damaged, like this belt needs to be replaced. It's about to snap. Things that were not included on what I quoted at first, because again, I don't know the car. But let's keep going. So this is just a plastic in here to rouse the hose. Gotta be careful with that elbow in there. Right here, this is the return line for the fuel. This goes to the um, well, return lines from the injectors. What you need to do is remove this clip. Make sure it doesn't fall. Oop, like I just did. Luckily, it's on the floor. Get a plier for you guys to do it. I have it here. And this is how it looks. And make sure that we remove that elbow because it's very easy to break it. Got to be very gentle removing it, especially if it hasn't been out. Perfect. Yeah, it's good. Nothing happened. So now we're good in there. Because that elbow will break with nothing. So make sure that you remove that. It will be a piece of your mind doing it. Like it's with me now. And this, we do have different lengths. I always like to have a mirror in my tool car because like that you don't have to keep digging down, see what all the fasteners are. I'm going to remove this exhaust line from there. Same thing, same E10. These are short or shorter. And it looks like a one more on the back. Need a shorter extension for that. Perfect. I remember that it's just fits inside that tubing inside of the exchanger underneath. I'm gonna double check. I think it's just snug by the O-ring. This has a tube under it, which is probably the one is holding me the most. And it's coming out now. Ooh, and that is completely clogged. Not sure if it's going to let me come out. Yeah, I'm glad that I will show you in a second, guys. That is 100% clogged. So yeah, let's keep proceeding with this. He was a little hesitant at the beginning to let me keep going with what I want to do. And I said, I'm sorry, but it has to be that way or no. So dirty. Let's try to see what else I need to remove. As far as holding this intake line or pipe. I'm gonna be in your way just a second. Got a few sensors in here. Trying to see which way would be the best. Gonna have to remove the bracket itself. I mean, it's the same E10 for almost everything in here. Trying to, gonna have to get a small one. Probably a 1/4 inch, and I'm not sure if I have it here. Yeah, I do. Yep, I do. Perfect. But remember, you only need to remove the two on the back and can leave the one on the front, but I think it's better to get it all out. Can see. Sorry if I'm a little bit in your way. Yeah, it's kind of like under it. Need to push this hose out of the way. By the way, I disconnect the battery, obviously. Always do that. So we got one, two more. And this one, they got a little bigger collar, but they're the same length. Try to see if I can remove that one on the bottom. I think I did. Okay, perfect. Let's move the harness out of the way. I don't want to take the tube completely out of the dipstick to not let any debris get in there. We got a connection in here. I'll show you in a second. Might be able to pull this out now. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, look at this. It's like, I would say 80% clogged. I mean, it's normal based on the mileage, but that's what I wanted to do all this. That clip is to push and release. But yeah, when they're new, they might come off. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky part to do without breaking it. It's just like two little arms with a kind of like a clip like this that you're supposed to push from the back, but easy to say than do it. Come on. Let me take a look with the mirror. See if I need to disconnect it like that or not. Yeah, definitely. And it's a very short harness, so it's not gonna let me do anything differently. Try not to touch myself too much. And make sure the angle of the camera, you guys are seeing a little bit of what I'm doing. Probably better in there, right? And as you can see, this is just covered with oil everywhere. Come on. It's gonna be very tricky to do. Trying to see if I can pull it to a side that I can see more. Yeah, probably in there. To push the bottom clip. Got it out, perfect. Got it out, not break it. And I like that I can leave the dipstick. I mean, look at all this, guys. Yeah, that's like years and years of gunk. Yeah, and this belt is about to pop out. Snap. Something else that I need to add to the. Wow. Ooh. That intake is just dirty, 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 dirty. Wow. Yep. Really bad. So long to work too. This is an R350 Bluetec, and that's why it's so hard to reach. I removed the cowl space, and they had this just glue in. I have to see how we're gonna put that back in there because all the clips are broken pretty much in there. None of the bolts or screws that hold it in here were even there. That is just what it is. So I'm glad I show you guys a little bit more. As you can see, it's coming along good. There's an intake temperature sensor as well in there. That's what it seems to be, which is quart of oil. And that thermostat is just wow. Let me take that thermostat on the camera so you guys can see that too. The last one is a little different. These two are just a regular length, same E10 as you can see, but this one is very long. Not sure how much the camera will pick up, but hopefully you guys can see the rubber inside is just all swollen. So this will have to be replaced as well. So one more thing to the list. And that's what I told him. Is like, I mean, make sure you understand you get yourself into something, because this is not going to be, oh well, no, let's not replace that because it's not going to work. When you start doing this, it's things that you can't put back. All right, let's get the oil filter, I mean, fuel filter out. Not the original clamps, but very good clamps. These are the original. They just clip in. These are not original, so it definitely was replaced before. This is loose. As you can see, not even touched that, and it's just sitting in there. That thread even good. Hmm. Doesn't seem to be coming out. And the thread is just damaged. I just put him in there, but the thread is no longer good. About to put a washer in there for the filter housing. This is the bracket that holds the filter in place. And these hoses are different sizes, so it's not that we can mix it up, but the first one right where the return line is, this is the return, this is the supply that goes right on the top of the oil, I mean the fuel pump. This is the high pressure pump on these cars. Kind of like walk it with the pick. Oof, be careful when you're doing that, you can get that in your fingers. All right, that's looking good. Now we got the connection for the filter. A little stuck. All right, now it's out. Just try to be careful when you're working on in a vehicle like this one. Even though, I mean, it's not that old. It's a '09. Got one more right here. And that should be The last thing on this, and this is the filter in the filter housing. When you replace, you just gotta remove this one in here, and this is reusable, at least on the ones that I had done. Now we can look more and more under it. We're almost at the swear valves that we can see that that turbo is so far behind or so far back that it's gonna be very nice for my back. Wow, so much oil everywhere. Just trying to think on what else to remove since I'm here. Connections, we need to get all out. This one doesn't want to move. It's still locked. All right, this got out. Hose looks good. At least it's not broken or cracking there. Not as far as I can see here. This is the fuel pressure sensor, and this is the quantity valve for the fuel rail. And we got a mix of bolts in here in the back as well on the cover of the turbo. So yes, they have done quite a few repairs on this car. I mean, I cannot expect it to be original, but it's a lot that shouldn't be here. If you're going to replace, try to get the, the original. They sell everything. You don't need to start putting, 20 different types of bolts. Now it seems like an E30 or T30. All right, guys, I'm going to stop in here. Yeah, I already got half an hour just doing this minor removing. All right, decide to keep rolling. I just removed the bracket in here. Decide to keep recording, and then I can always cut whatever I decide not to leave. Keep everything for my records and his. Shoot a little shorter. Same E10. And this bracket is attached to the turbo and the swirl valve at the bottom, and that's what that connector is in there. That bolt is a longer one, and this is the connector for the motor. I might be wrong, but I think it's M55. I got it out. When you release the pressure for the fuel rail, remember this is a high pressure system, so good advice, use a towel. Make sure you got it. It's an 18. Just put a towel in there. You crack it open so it doesn't inject the fuel to your face. I'm loosening it with a towel. All right, that's good. I mean, this is just the beginning. We had a lot to go. This is a long run repair. Lose the left side rail. I'm going to be removing that one. And remember, we got the fuel rail pressure sensor on the back. What I usually do is just get it loose, pull it this way. Start to feel the pressure in my knees, the back of my knee from laying down. These repairs are killers. Just put this on because I don't want nothing to fall in there. A lot of people ask me, how do you know the length of the fasteners when you're putting it back? I usually just go like this. And I know that I can, without problem, hopefully you guys can see, use this fastener in there. So when you can, that's the way, experience. Plus, if you do a repair uh, that the car doesn't stay for too long, um, on your bay. One second, guys. All right, what's my manager here? I'm removing the return lines, and I forgot to turn the camera on, so I want to show you that. So all you need to do is pull the ring up. I got one disconnected, so all you do is pull the ring up, wiggle it up. Same thing as just the outside ring. Pull it up. You can. And that's it. So this is the return line. So again, this is the ring that I was telling you. You need to put it back in and then just squeeze this down again to position. Now I can use the socket for releasing the injector lines, because with that in there, it doesn't let you. This socket is from a Snap-on, so specific for that. So I mean, if you're doing this, you gotta be part of the game. I got that one in a good sale from a Snap-on because they're very expensive. But if you wait the right time, especially when they're low in sales, you will do good. Try to keep it as they go. As an advice, I have my own bench, so I can keep it in there or put a number. That's what dealers recommends, to keep it on the same location that where they were removed. Now we can work on the fuel pressure sensor, which the connector is facing down. So that's the best way to get it off. So push in, release. Look like this one is not playing with me. So be careful not to break it. It doesn't want to. Yes, take your time. Don't break anything. Come on. Come on. Be good. Got it out. That's it. Connector is perfect. Nothing broke. And then make sure what you can do now here, if you want, is put each line on the rail. This is fresh, and then just hand tight like that. To which injectors each one. Be careful with that sensor, not to break the sensor itself. And now we got a little more clarity. Best thing to do is the same thing on the other side. Mhm. Yes, wiggle it a little bit. Sometimes they get a little stuck, and be careful because it's a plastic connection. And that's it. Without that in there, we can remove the injector line, which in this case, I'm going to try to just remove it from the injectors and not lose them on the rail. Careful not to break anything. And the quantity valves right here in the front is a very different valve itself. So we're going to do the same thing with the connector. And this one came out very good. I don't like that it's being pinched, kind of like tight under this feed line. So let me take that feed line as well. And that's a 19. Looked like it. No, it's a 19. It's kind of weird. It didn't fit in there. But it's not a problem. We can get the wrench in here. Just want to make sure that I am recording. And yes, I am. 5 minutes of recording time. Let's see if I get you a little closer. I mean, this is just going to be watching me work. But a lot of people like to see this too, so. Okay. What else we got here on the way? Just connections, UGR. I mean, we can disconnect this just on the way as well. You can pull the back. I mean, no matter what, I'm gonna have to do that as well, but I want to disconnect it and then just pull this plastic tin in here because that goes down into the abysm. And we got a connection here as well coming from the quantity valve. Let me show you how I remove that, and I just use a plier after. So what I use is just a pick, a hose pick on the side. Careful with your hand. Make sure always to put two hands, see, and that is removed. And that clamp can be reused. Same thing, I go with the little pick as a hose clamp pick. I love those things. It's so much stuff on my way. I'm gonna say the other work. I have some people saying, laughing at it. I mean, it is a lot of extra stuff around. Just leave it there. All right, so see if I can get you out of the way. Let me get this line out of here. It's just in my way either way. And definitely we're hitting on the EGR on the back, so it's not gonna be much room to wiggle here. Just wanna get you out of the way. Let's get that connector for the EGR off. And you're gonna have to remove a lot of those clips that are holding the harness in the back covers just to get some wiggle room. It's not that we're going to pull much off. We can get this line out of here too. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do with that. And that's exactly what I was looking for. These look like E14, but the one on the bottom, it looks like a 13 millimeter. It might be original. I might be wrong, but we'll see pretty soon. So that's 14. Where are you? Right here. Should be in the socket. Are you too big? Yeah, they're E12. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Ooh, and they're beautiful. That is gonna be wonderful. We don't need the socket for the injectors no more. I like to put things back in their cases. And let's have fun on the turbo. Hmm. Ooh, that doesn't look good. I don't like that. It looks like it's going to snap. And I don't want that to happen. Ah, it's gonna be beautiful. Remember, I had the same situation with the other one. Sorry, guys. All right, guys, back into the work. So what I did is I sprayed with WD-40. I left it for, I don't know, maybe 3 hours. I was doing something else, and now I was able to remove it with no problems. Everything came out beautiful. I love WD-40. So there's just two E12 and one 13 millimeter on the bottom, and then you can get this out. Let me get everything, including the clamp, out of there. If if I can do it, yeah. So this is the clamp, and that is the elbow. Everything came out super beautiful. WD-40 for the wing. All right, now let me get the mirror. Not sure how long more I'm gonna be working on it today because it's like 5 p.m. Being a long day. All right, right now we got the elbow for the EGR, which are E10s, and then we got another connection, which is for the two exhaust manifolds to the turbo. And then we can get this turbo out of the way. The turbo looks really good.